So before moving to where we stopped, right? We have discussed all these things. We have done up to example number, I think we have done up to example number 8, right? No, yes, we have done up to example number 8. So before moving to example number 9, right? Let's quickly do this one, right? Okay, here. This table shows a frequency distribution. I have told you that, right? Before reading out anything here in this practice question, by referring to this particular distribution, tell me what kind of a distribution is this? By looking at this distribution, tell me what kind of a distribution is this? Kavindi, me tiyene mona wage distribution ekakda? Yes. What kind of a distribution is this? Yes, this is a group frequency distribution, right? This is a group frequency distribution. How you can say this is a group frequency distribution? Because the variable here, the variable is wages. This variable has been grouped, right? It is as in class intervals. It is in the form of class intervals. And tell me, right? So these are class intervals. Class intervals can be in the form of class limits or class boundaries. We have already discussed those stuff. So here, these class intervals, in which form? Are they in class limits or are they as class boundaries? Metana me tiyena class intervals tiyenne mona vidiyatada? Class limits vidiyatada? Class intervals vidiyatada? Sorry, class boundaries vidiyatada? But okay. Twantika is saying class boundaries, others?
Class limits.
Okay, right. So majority of you are saying class limits, right? So these are what? These are class limits, right? And here, see, if we take two successive class intervals, we can observe a gap in between. See, this one ends with which value? 259.99. And the next one starts with 260. Still, there is a gap. Man කියවනේ අර gap එක කියන එක එකක්ම වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඒක 10ක් වුණත් දශම ගාණක් වුණත් gap එක නම් gap එක තමයි. Right? So here also we can see a gap. If there is a gap, irrespective of the value, if there is a gap, then those are becoming what? Those are becoming class limits. So here we have the class intervals in the form of class limits. What is the gap value here? Gap එක කීයද? Gap එක කීයද? Yes. What is the gap value? මෙතන 259 කියලා තිබ්බනම් කියන්න ලේසියි. 259 60 gap එක එකයි. Then with decimals this number is there. So what it should be? What is the gap value? Yes, that is 0. Is it 0.1? All right, it is 0. It is 0. I'm getting 3 answers. Some say 0.1, some say 0.01, and some says 0.001. What is the gap value? Doubt වගේලා මොකද කරන්න ඕන? Calculate එක තියෙනවනේ. කැල් එකේ ගහලා බලන්න කීය දෙන්නේ? 0.01. Right? 0.01. Right. So let's see whether you can answer for these questions. This is again just to recap, right? whether you know those terminologies and all. A, the lower limit of the 6th class. What is that? And can you all please rename with your calling name, right? Registration number isara walage samane katha karana nama dala rename karagana. Yes, Tarindi. What should be the answer for part A here? The lower limit of the 6th class. Lower limit of the 6th class. What should be the answer? What? 6th class. Okay, lower limit taker. Here. Lower limit of the 6th class. What it should be? 299.99. Is it? Lower limit of the 6th class? See. Lower limit. These are what? These are class limits. Lower limits කියලා කියන්නේ මොනවා ගියන් ටිකද? අඩු වගයන් ටික. එහෙනම් බලන්න ඕන මොන පැත්තද? Only this left hand side is what we need to refer. Lower limit of the 6th class. What is the answer? Yes, that is 300. මෙන්න 6th class එක. This is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So this is the 6th class interval. Lower limit means the lower value, that is 300. So without knowing, right, able to identify, right? If you are not able to identify these values, these given figures, then it will be difficult to progress, right? Okay, the lower limit of the 6th class is 300. Then part B, the upper limit of the 4th class is what? Upper limit of the 4th class? Yes, that is 289.99. 4th class is this 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the 4th class. Upper limit is 289.99. Part C, the class mark, or else we can say class midpoint of the 3rd class is what? තුන්වෙනි class එකේ class midpoint එක කීයද කියලා අහනවා. Bimsara, what should be the answer? Class mark or the class midpoint of the 3rd class. How to take these class midpoints? What we need to refer? Class limits or class boundaries? No issue. We can refer any of those. Class midpoint එක කැල් කරද්දී අපි class limits refer කරත් එකයි class boundaries refer කරත් එකයි. අපිට එන්නේ එකම උත්තරේ. කොහොමද ගන්නෙ? Upper value plus lower value divided by 2. Upper value plus lower value divided by 2. Right. So I'm putting two answers. One saying 274.995 and some says 274.99. Right? We are getting an exact figure, right? It should be 995. Part C, the answer should be how to take this value? Class mark or the class midpoint of the 3rd class. So this is the 3rd class. What we need to do? Upper value plus lower value. Upper value is this. Plus lower value. Lower value is 270. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. So here the class midpoint value is it 274.5? No, can't be. මේ දෙක එකතු කළා දෙකෙන් විතර පස්සේ කීයද? 274.995. 274.995. These are tricky simplifications, right? So it is better to use the calculator. අඩුව තියෙද්දි අත පුච්ච ගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඒ වගේ මේ විදිහට decimals තියෙද්දි those will be tricky. So it is better to use the calculator, right? To simplify this. Then part D, class boundaries of the fifth class. What should be the answer? Class boundaries of the fifth class. Class boundaries of the fifth class. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the fifth class interval and these are class limits. We need to convert these class limits into class boundaries. Then it should be what? Then it should be what? Yes. Class boundaries of the fifth class interval. To 89.99 to 300. 289.99 to 300. Is it? No. See what we do. How can we convert these class limits into class boundaries? කොහොමද මේ class limits class boundaries විදියට convert කරනවා කිව්වේ? Whatever the gap, we need to divide by 2. Here, what is the gap value? Whatever the gap, we need to divide by 2. Here, what was the gap value? That is 0.01. This needs to be divided by 2. Then it is what? 0.005. මෙයාට ඊට පස්සේ මොකද්ද කරන්නේ? මොකද්ද කරන්න ඕන? Lower class limits වලින් අඩු කරන්න ඕන. We need to deduct this value from the lower class limits. So here, what is the lower class limit? 290. From 290, we need to deduct this value. Then it will be what? 289.995. Then to the upper class limit, we need to add this value. Upper class limit එකට එකතු කරන්න ඕන. මෙයාට මෙයා එකතු වුණාම කීයද? 299.995. So these are the class boundaries of the fifth class. Right? Class boundaries of the fifth class. අපිට හරියටම decimal point 3කට නැත්නම් 4කට කීයකට හරි උත්තරේ එනවා නම් ඒ ගානටම තියන්න. In these sort of sums. Right? Don't round it off. Right. Then part E, the size of the fifth class interval. What should be the answer? The size of the fifth class interval. We need to determine the class size. Class size එකට කියන තව නමක් මොකක්ද? Class width. So how can we determine the class size? How can we determine the class size? Is it 9.99? Class size එක එහෙම නැත්නම් class width එක determine කරද්දී what is the column we need to refer? What we need to refer there? Class limits or class boundaries? Class size එක එහෙම නැත්නම් class width එක කියලා කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? වෙනසනේ. අපි ගන්න වෙනස. වැඩි අගයෙන් අඩු වෙලා එන වෙනස තමයි අපි ගන්න. Right? From the upper value, we need to deduct the lower value. Of what? Of class limits or class boundaries? Or any of those two. What? Yes, we need to consider the difference of class boundaries. Upper class boundary value minus lower class boundary value. So these are very important. Huh? So without knowing these, we can't progress. We can't go ahead. So the size of the fifth class interval. This is the fifth class interval, but these are class limit. What we need to know? Class boundaries. That is what we have determined here. Upper class boundary minus lower class boundary. 299.995 minus 289.995. What is the answer? 10. 10. Right. Part F. The frequency of the third class. Straightforward. What is the value? frequency of the third class. First one, second one, third one. So this is the third class interval and we need to get the frequency of it. What is the frequency of the third class? That is what? 60. That is 60. Yes. G, the relative frequency, the difference here, we were asked to find the frequency, but here we need to find the relative frequency of the third class. What should be the answer? Relative frequency, right? What do you mean by this relative frequency? If it is a relative measure, right? So in upcoming lessons, we need to discuss about relative measures of dispersion, relative dispersion, right? In these relative measures, we present it as a percentage value. Relative කියලා මොකක් හරි measure එකක් එද්දි මොකක් හරි කැල් කරන්න තියේදී අපි ඒව present කරන්නේ percentage එකක් විදිහට. So if we ask to find this one, what should be the answer? The relative frequency of the third class. කොහොමද ගන්නේ? Third class, තුන්වෙනි class එකේ frequency එක 16යි. 16 out of how many? Out of how many? 65. Out of 65. We need to present this as a percentage. So what it should be then? Relative frequency of the third class. 16 over 65 into 100, that is 24.61%. Relative frequency. Relative measures අපි හැමතිස්සෙම පෙන්නන්නේ percentage එකක් විදිහට, right? Out of the total 65 observations, 16 are from the third class interval. So as a percentage, that is what? 24.61%. That is the idea. Right. Part H. The class interval having the largest frequency. අපි මෙයාටම කියනවා මොකක් කියලාද? Model class interval. Group frequency distribution එක mode එක හොයද්දී අපිට ඔක වැදගත්. Model class interval එක හොයාගන්න. So here what is the model class interval? මේ ගානේ model class interval එක මොකක්ද? What? The class interval having the largest frequency is what? Yes, Rukshan, what it should be? Class interval having the largest frequency. The class interval having the largest frequency is what? Yes, class interval එක ඇහුවට පස්සේ අපිට ඒක class limits විදිහට කියන්නත් පුළුවන්, class boundaries විදිහට කියන්නත් පුළුවන්. Right? So here the highest frequency is this one, 60. මෙතන තියෙන frequencies වලින් වැඩිම අගයක් තියෙන්නේ මෙයා. එයාට අදාළ class interval එක මොකක්ද? 270 to 279.99. 270 to 279. Yes, 279.99. 270 to 279.99. Right. Then, eighth one, the percentage of employees earning less than $280 per week. The percentage of employees earning less than $280 per week. Right. You tell me this is actually regarding the cumulative frequencies, right? The percentage of employees earning less than $280 per week. සතියකට මේ තියෙන සතියකට හොයන wages ගන්න තමයි. Right? සතියකට $280කට වඩා හොයන employeesලා percentage එකක් විදිහට කියන්නේ. සතියකට $280ට වඩා අඩුවෙන් හොයන employeesලා ගාන percentage එකක් විදිහට කියන්න ඕන. What should be that value? What should be the answer? Percentage of employees earning less than $280 per week. 52.3%. So how can you take that? Right? The answer is 52.3%. So how you can take that answer? Less than 280. Less than 280 cut off එකනේ කොතනින්ද? මෙතන. Less than 280 කිව්වොත් මීට වඩා අඩුවෙන් නම් මෙතනින් උඩ values ටික කී දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවද? මෙතන 16යි, මෙතන 10යි, මේ 8 දෙනයි, මේ හැමෝම හොයන්න කීයට වඩා අඩුවෙන්ද? 280ට වඩා අඩුවෙන්. In total how many? 34, right? 34 out of 65. So as a percentage, it should be what? 52.3%. 52.3%. Last one. The percentage of employees earning less than $300 per week, but at least $280 per week. 300ට වඩා අඩුවෙන් ඒ 260ක් හෝ ඊට වඩා වැඩියෙන් හොයන employeesලා ගාන percentage එකක් විදියට අහනවා. What should be the answer? What it should be? Yes. The percentage of employees earning less than $300 per week, but at least $280 per week. Yes, that is 76.92%. How we can get more in between this range from 300ට වඩා අඩු වෙන්න ඕන. 300ට වඩා අඩු වෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ මෙතන. මෙන්න cut off එක. 300ට වඩා අඩු වෙන්න ඕන. But at least $280 per week. අඩුම තරමේ $260ක්වත් හොයන්න ඕන. මෙන්න 260 cut off එක. එහෙනම් මෙන්න මේ range එක ඇතුලේ employeesලා කී දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවද? 10 plus 16 26, 26 plus 14 40, 40 plus 10 50. So here 50 employees out of 65 are earning in between this given range. So as a percentage, it should be 76.92%. Right? So you need to be very thorough with these terminologies, right? So these are highly important when we are calculating these different measures. එක measures කරද්දී මොනවද මේ class limits, මොනවද class boundaries, limits දුන්නොත් boundaries විදියට convert කරගන්නේ කොහොමද? අදාළ මොකක් හරි class interval එක class width එක ගන්නෙ කොහොමද? How to determine the class midpoint? All these are very important, very fundamental, right, to progress. Right. Okay, so we were here in example number 9. Okay, we haven't done this one, no? Right. We need to calculate the median from the following. So let's do this one. Other calculations we have done, right? I also have given you the summary of this chapter. Mean, median, mode in different circumstances when we are provided with different types of distributions, how we can calculate these values, mean, median, and mode. I have given you a summary, right? In example number 6 and 7, these are what? Individual data. Then how we can find the median value. In example number 8, there is an ungrouped frequency distribution. Then how can we find the median value, right? And in example number 9, here we have a grouped frequency distribution, then in such situations, how to determine or how to calculate the median value. Right. If it is an individual data set or an ungrouped frequency distribution, the way we calculate, the formula we use to determine the median value is the same. එතන ඇත්තටම formula එකකට වඩා එතන තියෙන මොකක්ද? median value එක ඉන්න තැන හොයාගන්නේ කොහොමද කියන direction එක තමයි එතනින් දෙන්නේ. n plus 1 over 2 positional n plus 1 over 2 වලින් එන්නේ මොකක්ද? final answer එක නෙවෙයි answer එක තියෙන තැන. But when it is a group frequency distribution, as what we have in example number 9, then we need to use this particular formula to find the median value. Median අපි සිංහලෙන් කියනවා මොකක්ද? Median කියන්නේ මධ්‍යනයද මධ්‍යස්ථයද මාතයද? මොකක්ද? මධ්‍යස්ථය. Right? The value in the middle. Simple meaning is the value in the middle. By using this formula, we try to find what? The value in the middle. මැද තියෙන value එක මේ හොයන්නේ. Mean එක කියලා කියන්නේ average එක. සාමාන්‍ය. Average value එක. Median කිව්වොත් value in the middle. මැද තියෙන එක. Mode කිව්වොත් right? Majority. The observation with highest frequency. Majority value එක. වැඩි දෙනෙක් බහුතරය අරගෙන තියෙන්නේ මොන ලකුණද? නැත්නම් බහුතරය තියෙන්නේ මොන සංඛ්‍යාවද මොන ආගයද? Right. Okay. So let's do this one, example number 9. Example number 9. They have given us a grouped frequency distribution. Marks and frequency. Marks and frequency. Ten to 24, 25 to 39, 40 to 54, 55 to 69, 70 to 84, 85 to 100. Right. So these are the class intervals. Frequencies 6, 20, 44, 6, 20, 44, 26, 3, 1, 26, 3, and 1. It means the sigma f value is what? ළමයි කී දෙනෙක්ගේ dataද මේ අපි ගන්නෙ? 40, 60, 80, 90, 96, 99, 100. Sigma f value is 100. We need to find the median value. Right? We need to find the median value of a group frequency distribution. What is the formula? L plus what? N over 2 minus capital F ME divided by simple FM into C. Right? L plus N over 2 minus capital FME over simple F into C. Right. What do you mean by this L here? What do you mean by this L? See here, L means what? L means what? L means the lower boundary of the median class. Median class එකේ lower boundary එක. Lower boundary of the median class, right? Tell me how many class intervals we do have here. මේ අපිට දීලා තියෙන group frequency distribution එකේ class intervals කීයක් තියෙනවද? How many class intervals are there? Yes, there are 6 class intervals, right? Then out of these 6 class intervals, what is our median class? මේ දීලා තියෙන class intervals 6න් අපේ median class එක මොකක්ද? What is our median class here? So if we ask to find the median of a group frequency distribution, the very first thing we need to do is we need to find the median class. අපිට group frequency distribution එකක් දීලා median එක calculate කරන්න කිව්වොත් අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලම කරන්න ඕන දේ තමයි මොකක්ද? median class එක හොයාගෙන ඉන්න ඕන. මේ දීපු class intervals වලින් මොකක්ද අපේ median class එක? Right? First we need to determine that. So how you can determine the median class? I will take it here. Median class. First we need to determine the median class. Comment. N over 2. N over 2, right? Well, so here N means number of observations. How many observations we have here? We have 100 observations. So it is 100 divided by 2. It is what? 50th. So where is our 50th observation? Then there is our median class. අපේ 50 වෙනි observation එක තියෙන්නේ කොතනද? එතන තමයි අපේ median class එක. Right? N over 2. So here it is 50th. Right. So how can we find where is our 50th? අපිට මේ විදිහට තියෙද්දි හොයාගන්න අමාරුයි. අපිට කවුද ඕන වෙන්නේ? දැන් අපේ requirement එක මොකක්ද? First අපි මේ මොකද්ද කරන්න යන්නේ? අපි යන්නේ මොකක් කරන්නද? median value එක හොයන්න. group frequency distribution එක median එක හොයන්න යන්නේ. median එක හොයන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලම තියෙනවා L කියලා අකුරක්. capital L එකට. Right? Capital L denotes what? The lower class boundary of the median class. එහෙනම් ඉස්සෙල්ලම බලන්න ඕනේ මොකද්ද මේ median class කියලා කියන්නේ කියලා. So here we have 6 class intervals. Out of these 6 class intervals, what should be our median class? So how to determine median class? That is N over 2. So here we have 100 observations. That one divided by 2, it means 50. So where is our 50th? Then that is our median class. 50 වෙනිය ඉන්නේ කොතනද? එතන තමයි අපේ median class එක. So now we need to find where is our 50th. How we can do that? 50 වෙනිය ඉන්න තැන හොයාගන්න ඕන. පළවෙනි 6 දෙනාම ඉන්නේ 6 දෙනාම අරන් තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ ලකුණු රේන්ජ් එක ඇතුලේ. 7 වෙනියගේ ඉඳන් 26 වෙනිය වගේ වෙනකන් අරන් තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ මාක් රේන්ජ් එක ඇතුලේ. එහෙම පිළිවෙලට හැදුවොත් අපේ 50 වෙනිය අරන් තියෙන්නේ මොන ලකුණු ඉන්නේ මොන රේන්ජ් එක ඇතුලේද? එනම් 50 වෙනිය හොයන්න අපිට ඕන වෙනවා කවුද? Yes, we need to have the cumulative frequency. මම පොඩියට ලියන්න. Cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency. සිංහලෙන් කියනවා මොකද්ද? සමුච්චිත සංඛ්‍යාතය. ඊට වඩා ලේසි cumulative frequency කියන්නේ. Yes, cumulative frequencies. කොහොමද දෙන්නේ මේ values ටික? So here we have 6, 6 plus this one, 26. 26 plus 44, 70. 70 plus 26, 96. 96 plus 3, 99 plus 100. So these are the cumulative frequencies. By referring to this cumulative frequency column, now we should able to determine where is our 50th. Then यहाँ दिया बल्ला पिटे केलीम क्या न पुलम 50 इन्ने කොතනද කියලා. කොතනද ඉන්නේ? Yes, where is our 50th? Dulini? Yes, Dulini, where is our 50th? What is the median class? What? Yes, that is 40 to 54. See here. Meaning, මෙතන මේ 70 කියලා මේක තන අදහස මොකක්ද? කලින් cumulative frequency value එක තියෙන්නේ 26. ඒ කියන්නේ මුල් 26 දෙනාම මීට වඩා උඩ. 27 වෙනියගේ ඉඳන් 70 වෙනිය වෙනකන් 27 ඉඳන් 70 වෙනකන් ඉන්නේ 40 54 කියන range එක ඇතුලේ. 27 වෙනියගේ ඉඳන් 27 වෙනියගේ ඉඳන් 70 වෙනකම් ඉන්නේ 40 54 කියන range එක ඇතුලේ. අපේ 50 වෙනියත් ඉන්නේ our 50th observation is also in between 27 to 70. 50 වෙනියත් ඉන්නේ මේ range එක ඇතුලේම තමයි. Therefore this is our median class. මේ තියෙන්නේ අපේ median class එක. Yes. So that is the very first thing we need to do in order to find the median of a group frequency distribution. First, we need to determine the median class. Right. So now we know what our median class is. Median class එක හරි. එයාව හොයාගත්තා. L. This one. How to take? Lower boundary of the median class. These are what? Class limits or class boundaries. Class limits the class boundaries. These are limits because there is a gap. See, 24 ඉවර වෙන්නේ 25න් පටන් ගන්න. So there is a gap in between two successive class intervals. So these are class limits. එහෙනම් මේ තියෙන්නේත් මොනවද? Class limits. Median class එකේ මේ තියෙන්නේ class limits. But what we need to get? අපිට ඕන වෙන්නේ මොනවද? Limits the boundaries. L stands for lower boundary. So we need to determine what? We need to determine the class boundaries. Class boundaries ටික හොයාගන්න වෙනවා. Right. So what are the class boundaries here? So once you have enough practice, now right, you need not to take the gap, divide by 2, 1 by 1. You need to deduct that particular value from the lower class limit, add them into upper class limit. Naturally, you should know these values. Yeah, නිකම්ම convert කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕන. practice උනාට පස්සේ කීයද? මෙතන 9.5 to 24.5. Here 24.5 to 39.5. 39.5 to 54.5. 54.5 to 64.5. 64.5 to 74.5. 74.5 to 84.5. Sorry. 54.5 to 69.5. 69.5 to 84.5. 84.5 to 100.5. Yes. Right. So now tell me what should be this L value. Now it is straightforward. What is the L value? What is the L value? Lower class boundary of the median class. Median class we determine, that is 40 to 54. We need to consider the lower class boundary of it. So what should be this L value then? L කියලා කියන්නේ කීයටද? Yes, that is 39.5. See, this is the median class, but these are class limits. But we need to take the lower class boundary. This is the value 39.5. So here L value, the value of L is 39.5 plus, right, N over 2. What is the value of N? What is the value of N? N means what? N means the total number of observations, right? The total number of observations, that is 100. So here it is 100 divided by 2. 100 divided by 2 minus capital FME. What do you mean by that? Capital FME. See here, capital F, what? Cumulative frequency of the class preceding the median class. Preceding එක opposite word එක මොකක්ද? Succeeding. Preceding, succeeding. Preceding කියලා කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? කලින් එක, පෙර එක. Succeeding කියලා කියන්නේ පසු. පෙර පසු කියන එක තමයි ඔය preceding, succeeding කියලා කියන්නේ. Right? Preceding, පෙර, කලින් එක. So what we need to take here? Capital F value should be what? Cumulative frequency of the class preceding the median class. Cumulative frequency of the class preceding the median class. See here. Again, what this stands for? Cumulative frequency of the class preceding the median class. Median class එකට කලින් එකේ cumulative frequency එක කීයද? Yes, that is 26. See? Cumulative frequency, now we need to refer this column, cumulative frequency column. Cumulative frequency of the class preceding the median class. So this is our median class preceding. කියලා කියන්නේ මීට කලින් එකේ. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ class එකේ මොකද්ද ගන්න ඕන? Cumulative frequency. So this is what we mean by capital F value. Right? Capital F value, that is 26. Then divided by simple F. What do you mean by this simple F here in the denominator? See, simple F means what? Frequency of the median class. Cumulative නෙවෙයි මොකද්ද? නිකම්ම frequency. Frequency of the median class. Here. Yes, that is 70. This is the median class, 40 to 54. The frequency of it, that is, yes. 44 to 70. Others? Frequency, the cumulative frequency, the frequency, the cumulative frequency, the frequency. මොකද්ද column එක? මෙයාද? See, this is the frequency column. මෙන්න median class එක. Median class එකේ frequency කිව්වොත් කීයද? මෙන්න මේ figure. Simple F. That is 44. right? Into C. C means what? C means what? C is the class width of the median class. C කියලා කියන්නේ class width එක. C is the class width. Class width of the median class. What is the value? Class width of the median class. So this is the median class. How we can take the class width? How we can take the class width? කොහොමද ගන්නෙ? Upper class limit minus lower class limit, the upper class boundary minus lower class boundary. What? That is හැමතිස්සෙම width එක ගන්නව නම් අපි refer කරන්නේ කවුද? Class boundaries. Upper class boundary minus lower class boundary. So here it should be what? This is the upper class boundary of the median class, and this is the lower class boundary of the median class. So 54.5 minus 39.5, that is 50. So here we need to take the value of C as 50. So what should be our median value then? Median value එක වෙන්නේ කීයද? What should be the median value? Yes, what should be the median value? මධ්‍යස්ථය කීයද? Need to simplify this one. So simplify and tell me the answer. 47 point, yes, 47.68. 47.68. 47.68 should be the median value. Right. Again, so this is the formula to find the median value of a group frequency distribution. What do you mean by L here? L means the lower class boundary of the median class. It means first we need to determine our median class. How we have determined that? N over 2. That position, where is that position? That is what we need to find. For that, we need to develop the cumulative frequency column. By using it, we can determine the median class. Then lower class boundary of the median class, that is what this L stands for. N means number of observations. Capital FME means what? Cumulative frequency of the class preceding the median class. Simple F now. Frequency of the median class, C number, class width of the median class. Right. This is example number 9. Take down this. This is example number 9.1. 9.1. I will use the technical terms here, class intervals and the frequency. Ten to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, and 60 to 69. These are the class intervals. Frequencies 5, 8, 14, 7, 3, 6. Right? So here you need to find the median value. You need to find the median value for this group frequency distribution. So quickly find the median value here and upload your answers to the Padlet link. I will share this link with you. Right. So quickly do example number 9.1 and upload your answers to the Padlet link. I have put it in the chat. So you have taken more than 5 minutes, right? So in the exam, so these sort of questions to find these mean, median, mode values will be mostly for 5 marks. Median, sorry, maybe for 2 to 3 marks. Median එක හොයනකොට ලකුණු දෙකක් ඒව නැත්නම් තුනක් දෙයි. තුනක් දුන්න කියමු. It means that you need to answer, you need to find the median within 5 minutes, maximum within 5 minutes. Tool කරලා ගාන ලියාගෙන formula ලියලා figures apply කරලා ඔක්කොම කරන්න විනාඩි 5ක් තියෙනවා 5ක් ඇතුළත කරන්න. Just upload your answers to the Padlet link. Okay, so here student got the answer as 35.57, 41.71. Yes. So this is where we got a different answer. Let's see why. Sigma F is 43. It is correct, no? L means the lower class boundary of the median class. So first we need to determine the median class. 21.5th observation we need to take. 21.5th. Where is that? Yes, between 30 to 39. So මේක තමයි අපේ median class එක. 14 ඉඳන් 27 වෙනකන් තියෙන්නේ මේ රේන්ජ් එකේ. එහෙනම් අපිට ඕන 21.5ක් තියෙන්නේ කොතනද? Between 30 to 39. L means the lower class boundary of it. It is 29.5. So here we need to take 29.5. N over 2, that means 43 over 2 minus capital FME. Capital F means what? Cumulative frequency of the class preceding the median class. Yes, that is 13. Correct. Divided by simple F, that means frequency of the median class. Frequency here is 14. So you need to divide this by 14, that is correct. Into class width of the median class, 39.5 minus 29.5, that is 10. So where it went wrong in the simplification. Is it a simplification error? Or is this answer correct? 43 divided by 2 means 21.5. 21.5 minus 13, that is 8.5, divided by 14 into 10 plus 29.5. Yes, that is a simplification error. This should be 35.57. මෙතන අපි කැල් එකේ ගහනම නම් කොහමද ගහන්නේ? මෙයාව කැල් එකේ ගහනම නම් කොහමද ගහන්නේ? ඉස්සෙල්ලා ගහන්නේ මොකද්ද? මෙයාව පොඩ්ඩක් තියන්න. මෙයා වෙනම ටර්ම් එකක් නේ. එයා මෙයාගෙන් සෙපරේට් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. මෙයා පොඩ්ඩක් තියන්න 29.5. So here what you need to have in the calculator, how you can put these things. 43 divided by 2. Then press equal. You will get the answer as 21.5. Right? 43 divided by 2, then press equal, then minus 13, again press equal. එතකොට මෙන්න මෙතන උත්තරේ A, numerator එකේ. Then divide by 14, multiply by 10, and at last you can add this 29.5. You should get 35.71 as the answer. So 35.57. Yes, 35.57. This is wrong. ඇයි වැරදි? මේ ෆෝමියුලා එක ලියාගත්ත විදිය වැරදි. ඇයි වැරදි? L කියලා කියන්නේ අපේ न्यूमरेटर එකේ තියෙන එකක් නෙවෙයි. न्यूमरेटर එකේ තියෙන එකක් නෙවෙයි L කියලා කියන්නේ. L is a separator. See the difference? මේ මෙතන L තියෙන්නේ ඉර උඩද නැත්නම් වෙනමද? L කියන එක නා වෙනම තියෙන්නේ. ඉර උඩ දාගත්තොත් මෙහෙම දාගත්තොත් this is strong. Right? Here මේ විදියට සුළු කළොත් හරි. මෙතන මේ තියෙන විදියටම සුළු කරොත් you will not get this answer 35.57. Right? මේ ටික සුළු කරලා ඒක 14න් බෙදලා 10න් වැඩි කරාට පස්සේ මේ answer එක මේ නැසි whether you get it 29.5. I'm simplifying this one, right? 29.5 plus 21.5 minus 30 equals divide by 40 into 10. You will get the answer as 27.14. මෙන්න මේ තියෙන විදියට සුළු කරොත් ඉන්නේ 27.14. අපේ එන්න ඕන answer එක නෙවෙයි. Right? So don't do this mistake. This is also a mistake most of you are doing. Right? L ගිහිල්ලා අර numerator එක ලියා ගන්නවා. එහෙම ලිව්වොත් වැරදි. L is a separator. එතනත් right? L is a separate term. L වෙනම තියන්නේ හැමතිස්සෙම. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි අර fraction එකේ. These are correct. Always keep L separately. L plus. Right? L කියන එක නා වෙනම term එකක්. අනිත් ටික වෙනම යනවා. අපිට මේක කෑලි දෙකකට කඩන්න කිව්වොත් ඉතින් කොහොමද? මෙයා එක කෑල්ලක්, මෙයා අනිත් කෑල්ල. මේ parts දෙක එකතු කරන්න තමයි තියෙන්නේ. So don't write L in the numerator, then it will be wrong. Right? Okay. Example number 9.2. Example number 9.2. Class intervals and frequency. 100 to 120, 120 to 140, 140 to 160, 160 to 180, 180 to 200, 15, 20, 30, 10, 15. Right. So please find the median here. In this group frequency distribution, please find the median and again upload your answers to the padded link. Right. To this one, example number 9.2, and upload your answers to the padded link. Try to finish it within 5 minutes. Yes, please upload your answers here quickly. Right. Example 9.2. What are these class limits or class boundaries? Here in example 9.1, here we had what? Here we have class limits, but in example number 9.2, we have what? This time we have given the class boundaries, right? Class limits නෙමෙයි දෙන්නේ example 9.2 වල class boundaries. Do we need to find class limits there? That is the exact mistake you have done here. See, these are what? If we take two successive class intervals, can you see any gap? For an example, if I take the first two class intervals, the first class intervals ends with what? 120. And the second class interval starts with 120 as well. Can you see any gap? Gap එකක් තියෙනවද? There is no any gap. Therefore, these are what? These are class limits or boundaries. මොනවද? මේ තියෙන limits the boundaries. මේ තියෙන්නේ class boundaries, right? Class boundaries. It is good that you have done this mistake here before doing it in the exam, right? මේ තියෙන්නේ class boundaries. ඇයි එහෙනම් ආයේ class boundaries කියලා column එකක් අහලා තියෙන්නේ? Do we need another? Right. These are already what? මේ තියෙන්නේ දැනටමත් class boundaries තමයි. ආයේ අමුතුවෙන් class boundaries හොයන්න දෙයක් තියෙනවද? නැහැ. ආයේ අමුතුවෙන් class boundaries හොයන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. මේ තියෙන්නේ මොනව තමයිද? මේ තියෙන්නේ class boundaries තමයි. Class boundaries හෙව්ව වුණත් කොහොමද හොයන්නේ? Gap value we need to divide by 2. So here what is the gap value? 120 minus this 120. What is the gap value? 0. 0 divided by 2. Again 0. That particular answer we need to deduct from lower class limit. 100 minus 0, that is 100. And add them to upper class limits. 120 plus 0, again 120. Right? So we need not to take, again we need not to prepare class boundaries because these are already class boundaries. So that is the mistake you have done here. See, median value කියලා කියන්නේ මොකක්ද අදහස? The value in the middle. මැද තියෙන value එක. Right? මැද තියෙන value එක. අපි මෙතන values පිළිවෙලට හැදුවොත් කීයේ ඉඳන් කීය වෙනකන් තියෙනවද? 100 ඉඳන් 200 වෙනකන් තියෙනවා. එහෙනම් මැද ඉන්න value එක මොකක් වෙන්න ඕනද? 100 200 අතර මැද තියෙන value එකක් වෙන්න ඕන. What is the answer you got here? 21.16. Then that is not a realistic answer. Right? Lower class boundary 14.5. This is wrong. Okay, that is this one. We'll take this. Right. Lower class, yes. First we need to find the median class. How we can find that? N over 2. 90 over 2 means 45. Right? So we need to find the 45th observation. For that, we need to have a cumulative frequency column. As per that, 140 to 160, this is our what? මේ තමයි අපේ median class එක. 140 ඉඳන් 160 වෙනකම්. Right. L means the lower class boundary, that is 140 plus N over 2. 90 over 2 minus, this is what? Cumulative frequency of the class preceding the median class. මේකට කලින් එකේ cumulative frequency එක 35 divided by simple left, that is frequency of the median class. Is it 30? Sorry, is it 20? Is it 20? No, right? It should be what? 30. It should be 30. 30 නේද මේ? median class එකේ frequency එක. අපි කලින් එක ගන්න මෙතනට විතරයි. Cumulative frequency එකේදී විතරයි. මෙතන කෙලින්ම අදාළ median class එකේ frequency එක. That should be 30 here. Right? That should be 30. So this answer is also wrong. Right? So don't let those kind of mini mistakes to happen. මේ හරි ලේසි ගණන්නේ. පොඩි පොඩි තැන් වරක් ගන්න එපා. We have taken this and this. Okay, this one. Yes, 140 plus N over 2, that is 45 minus, that is, yes, 35 divided by frequency 30 into the class width is 20. So it is 146.66. Yes, this is correct. 146.66. Yes, 146.66. First we need to determine the median class. Here, when determining median class, we are not taking n plus 1. We are just taking what? N over 2. මෙන්න මෙයාම තමයි ගන්න. N over 2 කියන එක තමයි මෙතන ගන්න. Median, individual data set එක median හොයද්දි n plus 1 over 2. Median class එක determine කරද්දි n over 2. Right. Yes, n over 2, 45th observation. Yes, 146.66. So this is the way you need to write it, right? L ගිහිල්ලා මේ ඉර උඩ දාගත්තු තින් ඇති මේ විදිහට තමයි හරියන්නේ තියෙන්නේ. L separately අපිට වෙනම පේන්න තියෙනවා අපිට වෙනම මේ කැලි දෙකකට කඩන්න පුළුවන්. මෙයා වෙනම මේ කැලල වෙනම. සුළු කරද්දිත් මෙයා වෙනම සුළු කරලා අන්තිමට මෙයාව එකතු කරලා දාන්න. Then easily you could get this answer. Yes, 146.66. Right. In this individual data set, what is the mode value? Mode means what? Mode means what? The observation with highest frequency. So what is the observation here with the highest frequency? What is therefore what is the mode value? What should be the mode value here? What is the mode value here? Mode value here, the mode value is what? 27. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times we can see number 27, right? 4 times we can see 27. So that is the observation with the highest frequency. Therefore, the mode value in this particular data set should be 27. If I take another example, right? Maybe regarding your heights, we'll take a data set like this: 170, 162, 158, 170, 159, 162, 180, 175, 158. Right. What is the mode value here in example number 2? In example number 2, what should be the mode value? Yes, what? In example number 1, it was straightforward because 27 we have observed 4 times. That was the observation with highest frequency. So we have no doubt the mode value is 27 in example number 1. What about example number 2? So this kind of this data set also we can have. In this individual data set given in example number 2, what is the mode value? What it should be? $160. Is it? One student is saying that is 160. Can it be? No. That is not 160. Again, what do you mean by mode? The observation with highest frequency. වැඩිම වාර ගණනක් තියෙන observation එක. What is the mode value here? What is the mode value here? දැන් 4 අවසරේ 3 අවසරේ ඉන්න නංගි කෙනෙක් හරි මල්ලි කෙනෙක් කොහොම ඩේටා සෙට් එකක් අරන් ඇවිල්ලා මට මේකේ මාතය කියන්න කිව්වොත් ඉතින් ඔයාලා කියන්නේ උත්තරේ කීය කියලාද? Okay. Chaturanga and Samadhi saying that is 170. Okay, 170 is here, 170 is here. So 2 times we can see 170. Okay. Others? Chaturanga and Samadhi is saying the mode value should be 170. What about others? Hamdi? Anjali, Vimsara, Tarusha. Yes, mod value. What? එකසිය හැත්තෑව කියල ගත්තොතින් හරිද එකසි හැත්තෑව මෝඩ් වැලිුව එක විදියට ගන්නව කියලා කියන්නේ වැඩිම වාර ගන්නක් යෙදිච්ච සංඛ්‍යාව එකසිය හැත්තෑව කියල ගන්නව කියන එකනේ ඒක එහෙම ගන්න එක හරිද in example number 2 what about 162 yes right 170 we can observe 2 times 162 also we can observe 2 times what else 158 also we can observe 2 times therefore there are 3 more values here one is 170 and the other one is 162 and the other one is 158 එතකොට example number 2 වල තියෙන එක mode value එකක් නෙවෙයි there are how many modes 3 mode values are there in example number 2 those are what 150 162 and 170 all these 3 are mode values there are 3 modes right we'll take another example example number 3 1,000, 500, 750, 800, 1,200, 1,100, 850. Right. In this data set, what is the mode value? In example number 3, what should be the mode value? Yes, in example number 3, what should be the mode value? Individual data set mode whether it is individual or whether it is ungrouped data mode means the observation with highest frequency. So here in example number 3, what should be the mode value? It is not all, it is none. Right? Here we have no any mode values. We cannot observe any value with a higher frequency. All the frequencies are the same. එකකින් තියෙන එක ගානේ විතරයි. වැඩිපුරම තියෙන එකක් කියලා එකක් නැහැ. Right? So when determining the mode values of these individual data set and ungrouped data set, there can be situations, there can be circumstances where we have only one mode, or else where we can get 2 or more modes, or else there also can be situations where we can get no mode values. එතකොට අපි individual data set එකක් හරි ungrouped data set එකක් හරි refer කරනවා නම් mode තනි mode value එකක් තියෙන අවස්ථා තියෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. mode values දෙකක් හෝ ඊට වඩා වැඩි ගණනක් තියෙන අවස්ථා තියෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. mode values නැතිම අවස්ථා තියෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. right? එතකොට individual data set එක හැමතිස්සෙම තියෙන්නේ එකම එක mode value එකක් විතරයි කියලා එකක් නැහැ. mode values නැතිම වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. එකක් විතරක් තියෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. දෙකක් හෝ ඊට වඩා වැඩි ගණනක් තියෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. right? Then what about the mode value of a grouped frequency distribution? Here this one should be corrected as 110. Right. Example number 10. Calculate the model value. Right. We need to determine the model value. We need to calculate the mode of the following distribution. This is a grouped frequency distribution and we have asked to calculate the model value. For that, we need to use this particular formula. group frequency distribution එකක් දුන්නොතින් අපිට mode value එක හොයන්න මෙන්න මේ formula එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right. I will do example number 10. Example number 10. Example number 10. Class intervals and frequencies. Class intervals and frequency. 50 to 59 up to 190. 50 to 59. 60 to 69. 70 to 79. 80 to 89. 90 to 99. 100 to 109. 110 to 190. Frequencies 6, 9, 15, 25. 6, 9, 15, 25. 13, 7, 5. 13, 7, 5. Sigma F value is what? 8, yeah? 8. Right. So here we need to find what? Here we need to find the mode value. Right? We need to determine the mode value. Mode of this group frequency distribution. What is the formula we can use? You can always refer to that summary, which I have given you previously. Mode of a group frequency distribution. How can we calculate that? Capital L plus F1 minus F0 divided by 2F1 minus F0 minus F2 into C. Mom made with capital left, simple left. I have told you this previously. Here, what I have written, capital F or simple F. Normally, capital left, simple left. Yes, simple F. If it is simple F, what do you mean by that? Frequency or cumulative frequency? Simple F occurring represent frequency, the cumulative frequency. Yes, frequency. Capital F දාගත්තු තින් ඒකෙන් කියවෙන්නේ මොකද්ද? Cumulative frequency column එක බලන්න. F දාගත්තු තින් එතනින් කියවෙන්නේ frequency values. Right. So let's find the mode value here. Okay. L. L means what? Here L means what? What it says? Lower boundary of the what? Model class. Model class එකේ lower boundary එක. Model class එකේ lower boundary එක. Right? Then how we can determine the model class? To find the mode value of a group frequency distribution, what is the first thing we need to know? First, we need to determine, like what we have done in the median, අපිට group frequency එක median එක හොයන්න ඕන වුණා නම් මොකද අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලම කරේ median class එක හොයාගත්තා. ඒ වගේ group frequency distribution එක mode එක හොයන්න නම් අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලම හොයාගෙන ඉන්න ඕන මොකක්ද? What is our model class? Right. So there are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 class intervals. Tell me, out of these 7 class intervals, what is the model class? What is the model class? Model class කියන වචන අපිට කලින් හම්බුණා. අපි උදේ පාන්දර පොඩි ඇක්ටිවිටි එකක් කරේ. එතන තිබ්බා. මොකක්ද? මේ තියෙන class intervals 7. Out of these 7 class intervals, we need to determine which is our model class to find the mod value. First, we need to determine the model class. So what should be the model class here in this example? Yes, that is 80 to 89. 80 to 89. This is our model class. මේ තියෙන්නේ අපේ model class එක. ඇයි 80 to 89 කිව්වේ කවුරු දිහා බලලද? වැඩිම frequency එකක් තියෙන class interval එක. Right? The class interval with highest frequency is what we call the model class. Class interval with highest frequency is the model class. Right, so we have determined the model class, but here what we need to consider as L, lower boundary of the model class. But these are what? අපිට මේ තියෙන class intervals තියෙන්නේ මොන විදියටද? class limits විදියටද boundaries විදියටද? These are limits because we can see a gap in between two successive class intervals. So we need to close this gap and re-prepare the class boundaries column. Class boundaries. Come the class boundaries again. Here 49.5 to 59.5. අපි ඇත්තටම කොහොමද ගන්න? දැන් මේ ප්‍රැක්ටිස් එකෙන් දියන්නේ. ඇත්තටම කොහොමද ගන්න? gap එක දෙකෙන් බෙදලා lower class limits වලින් අඩු කරනවා upper class limits වලට එකතු කරනවා. Here see gap is 1. 1 divided by 2, that is 0.5. Deduct 0.5 from 50, 49.5. Add them to upper class limit, add it to 59, then it will become 59.5. Likewise, for each and every class intervals, we need to prepare the class boundaries. Right. So here, what is the lower class boundary value? What should be the value of L now? Now you know what should be the value of L. What should be the value of L? Yes. Lower class boundary of the model class. Yes, that is 79.5. This one. This is the L value, lower class boundary of the model class, 79.5. Plus the rest of the part. F1, we have what? F1, F0 and F2. Those are 3 values we need to know. F1 means what? මොකද මේ F1 කියලා කියන්නේ? See here, F1 is what? Frequency of the model class. Frequency of the model class. Frequency of the model class. What should be the value then? F1 value එක මොකක්ද? Frequency of the model class. What it should be? Yes, that is 25. Me model class එක මේක model class එකේ frequency එක. ඒ කියන්නේ 25. This is our F1 value. This is the F1 value 25. Minus F0. Minus F0. F0 means what? See here, F0. Frequency of the class preceding the model class. Frequency of the class preceding the model class. Model class එකට කලින් එකේ මොකක්ද? කලින් එකේ මොකක්ද? Frequency ද cumulative frequency ද? Simple F. Simple F now always what? Frequency. This is the model class preceding thing, that is the class interval before the model class preceding. So it means this 15 should be the F0 value. Yes, the F0 value should be 15. So F1 minus F0, 25 minus 15. Then 2 into F1, 2 into F1, F1 we know that is 25, frequency of the model class, 2 into 25, minus F0, F0 also we know that is 50, minus F2, what is the F2 value? What is the F2 value? What do you mean by F2? Again, what? Simple F frequency. Frequency of what? Frequency of the class succeeding the model class. Model class එකට succeeding, right? Afterwards, model class එකට පස්සේ class interval එකට අදාළ frequency එක. So this is the class interval succeeding the model class. The corresponding frequency there is 13. Therefore, this is our F0 value, 30. 30. And also we need to determine what? The C value. C means what? Now you know C. C stands for what? Class. C will include the class width. Moke class width. Model class class width. Key 89.5 minus 79.5, that is 10. So this needs to be multiplied by 10. So what should be the final mod value here in this example? What should be the final mod value? Yes. (25 minus 15 means 10. 10 divided by what? You can open a bracket and say 25 into 2, that is 50 minus 15 minus 13, close the bracket. Multiply by 10, and finally we can add the lower class boundary value 79.5. So the answer should be, yes, 84.04. 84.04. So that is how we can find the mod value of a grouped frequency distribution, right, using this formula. Are you okay with this? And you need to clearly know what these symbols, what these letters stands for. L means what, F1 means what, F0 means what, F2 means what do we mean by C, and then You just need to apply those figures and get the simplification done. That's all. So this is example number 10. Example number 10.1. Take this down. Class interval and the frequency. 100 to 120, 150, 150 to 200, 200 to 250, 250 to 300, 300 to 350. Frequencies 12, 18, 10, 8, 2. Sigma F is 50. Yes. Right. You find the mode value here in this particular distribution to example number 10.1 and upload your answers to the Padlet link. Right. Do example number 10.1 and upload your answers to the Padlet link. Right. So most of you have got the answer as 171.42. Yes, the highest frequency is 18. So this is our model class 150 to 200. So these are already class boundaries. So we need not to develop the class boundaries. Already the class boundaries are given. 150 lower class boundary plus F1 18 minus F0 12 divided by 2 into F1, yes, minus F0 minus F2 10. C means the class width is, yes, 50. So the final answer should be 171.42. Okay. Exam එකේ මේ වහනවද mean එක හොයන්න median එක හොයන්න mode එක හොයන්න කියලා exam එකේ අහනවද? Yes, right. So these are definite questions. Definitely these things will be there. සමහර වෙලාවට කෙලින්ම mean median mode කියන අකුරෙන්ම දෙන වචනෙන්ම දෙන්න නැති වෙයි. Right? You may have asked to calculate, you may sometimes can be asked to calculate the average. So the average එක කියලා කියන්නේ මොකක් තමයිද? mean එකම තමයි. එහෙම නැත්නම් කියයි majority of students ගත්ත mark එක මොකක්ද? මේ example එකේ වගේ නම් if these class intervals were marks, if the variable was marks, you may ask to find the mark obtained by the majority of the students. බහුතරයක් ළමයි අරන් තියෙන score කරලා තියෙන mark එක කීයද? Instead of saying mod, you may ask to find the majority, right? So if it was such, you should know that in such cases you need to find the mod value. You need to determine the mod. Median කියන වෙනුවට middle කියන වචනේ දාලා අහන්න පුළුවන්. Right? What is the mark scored by the student in the middle? And it is arranged in ascending or descending order. So it means you need to find the median value. Right? So these will be definite questions in the exam. Right. So this point I have discussed, right? What is the best measure? So far we have discussed 3 measures of central tendency. Those are what? Mean, median, and mode. What is the best measure? ඔය තුනෙන්ම කරන්න එකම දේනේ. අපේ data set එක represent කරන්න පුළුවන් තනි අගයක් generate කරන එක තමයි ඔය තුනෙන්ම කරන්නේ. එතකොට ඔය එකම purpose එකට එකම objective එක achieve කරන්න තියෙන measures තුනක්. Mean, median, and mode. What is the best out of that? ඔය තුනෙන් හොඳම එක මොකක්ද? ඔය තුනෙන් මොකක්වත් හොඳම කියලා එකක්වත් නරකම කියලා එකක්වත් නෑ. That depends on what? That depends on the data set we are referring to. Right. In this case, right, 5 houses on a hill by the beach. මුහුදත් එක්ක තියෙන දුර අනුව ගෙවල් වල prices ටික දෙනවා. මුහුදට ආසන්නෙම තියෙන ඒ වගේ මිල අඩුයි, ඈතට යන්න යන්න මිල වැඩි. අපිට අපෙන් ඇහුවොතින් right, අපෙන් මේක represent කරන්න තනි value එකක් ඇහුවොතින් what should be the one? අපි කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? සාමාන්‍යයෙන් prices මේ පැත්තේ prices ගෙවල් වල මිල ගණන් කොහොමද කියලා ඇහුවොතින් අපි කියන්නේ කීය කියලාද? mean එක කැල් කරලා කියනවද 600යි කියලා? එහෙම නැත්නම් පිළිවෙලට හදලා මැද ඉන්න එක්කෙනා හොයාගෙන කියනවද ලක්ෂ 3යි කියලා? එහෙම නැත්නම් ගෙවල් දෙකකම මිල ලක්ෂ නිසා අපි කියනවද ලක්ෂයයි කියලා? What would be our answer? What? Mean is the most frequently used measure of central tendency. Mean කියලා කියන්නේ අපි වැඩිපුරම frequently පාවිච්චි කරන central tendency measure එක. But the mean value can be distorted if there are extreme values, if there are outliers. අර අසාමාන්‍ය අගයන් තිබ්බොතින් අපේ data set එකේ අපේ mean value එක විකෘති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකෙන් realistic situation එක represent කරන්නේ නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So in this data set, do we have outliers? Do we have extreme abnormal values? මේ data set එකේ abnormal values තියෙනවද? Yes, this is an abnormal value compared to the rest of the data we have given. මේ data එක compare කරද්දී මෙයා abnormal value එකක් ඒ වගේ වෙලාවක මෙන්න මේ measure එක පාවිච්චි කරන එක එච්චරම සාධාරණ නැහැ. Right? So here mean is generally used unless extreme values exist. මෙතන 2 million නැතුව මෙතන සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ලක්ෂ 4ක් ඔන්න ඔය වගේ figure එකක් තිබ්බනම් then yes. If there are no any outliers, if there are no any extreme values, then we can use mean, and we are using mean as the most frequent measure to represent a single value, to represent the whole data set. Extreme values, abnormal values නැත්තම් අපි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ මොකක් තමයිද? mean value එක තමයි. හැබැයි extreme values තියෙන වෙලාවට අපි mean value එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න යන්නේ නැහැ. mean value එක පාවිච්චි කරද්දී ඒක මොකද්ද? It will not provide the true situation, right? It will not provide a fair value. සාධාරණයක් පෙන්වන්න කරන්නේ නැහැ. Then median is often used. ඒ වගේ extreme values තියෙන වෙලාවට හොඳම option එක මොකක්ද? extreme values තියෙනවා නම් හොඳම option එක median. Right? Extreme value එකක් තියෙනවා නම් හොඳම option එක median. Then median is often used since the median is not sensitive to the extreme values. Median කියන එක outliers වලට sensitive නෑ. ඇයි? එයා හැමතිස්සෙම බලන්නේ මැද ඉන්න එක්කෙනා කවුද කියන එක. What is the value in the middle? That is what median is looking for. එහෙනම් extreme values තියෙනවා නම් ඒ වගේ වෙලාවට අපි ගොඩක්ම යන්න ඕන මොන measure එකටද? median එකට. Extreme values නැත්තම් we can go for the mean. Right? හිතන්න මෙතන මේ data set හතර මෙහෙම තියෙනවා කියලා. මෙයත් ලක්ෂයයි, මෙයත් ලක්ෂයයි, මේ house price එකත් ලක්ෂයයි, මෙයත් ලක්ෂයයි, මෙයා ලක්ෂ 8යි. දැන් මොකක්ද? මේ වගේ වෙලාවක මොකක්ද වැඩිපුරම හොඳ measure එක? Out of the 5 observations, 4 observations appear which figure? 100,000. So it is more. That is why the best measure is always depend on what? Depend on the data set that we are referring to. අපි refer කරන data set එකක් තමයි මේ measures තුනේ හොඳම එක මොකක්ද? ගැළපෙනම එක මොකක්ද කියලා තීරණය වෙන්නේ. Right. Okay. And so I have not mentioned this in that summary, geometric mean, because this was not tested as I could remember this from this area. Right, you may not find any past paper questions, but this is also something important to know, right? Geometric mean. Geometric mean. The mean that we have calculated previously is we called arithmetic mean. අපි කලින් mean එක කැල් කරා එයාට අපි සාමාන්‍ය කියන්නේ arithmetic mean. අපි පාවිච්චි කරනවා නිකම්ම mean කියලා. Here it is geometric mean, right? Geometric mean. So why we have something like this? What is the purpose of this? ඇයි මේ එකක් තියෙන්නේ? මොකක්ද මේකේ purpose එක? අපි මෙහෙම ගමු. Hypothetical situation. 2020 අවුරුද්දේ economic growth එක 2020 අවුරුද්දේ economic growth එක assume that is 10%, right? Assume that is 10%. 2020 අවුරුද්දේ economic growth එක 10%යි. ඒ කියන්නේ 2019 අවුරුද්දට සාපේක්ෂව අපේ economy එක වර්ධනය වෙලා තියෙනවා 10%. Right? And in year 2021, our economic growth is, right, let's say -5%. එතකොට වර්ධනයක් නේ මොකක් කියලා මොකක්ද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? වර්ධනය මොකක්ද opposite part එක? Degrowth එකක්, right? So there is a degrowth in year 2021. එහෙනම් අපෙන් ඇහුවොතින් 2021 period එකේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් economic growth එක කොහොමද කියලා, right? The average economic growth in the period from period 2020 to 2021, what should be our answer? Average economic growth from 2020 to 2021, what should be our answer? What? අපිට මේ වගේ වෙලාවක පුළුවන්ද අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් arithmetic mean එක කැල්කියුලේට් කරද්දී මොකක්ද දෙන ආන්සර් එක 110යි එකතු කරනවා 100ට ඍණ 5 බෙදනවා 2. ඒ කියන්නේ කීයද 2.5%. මෙහෙම ආන්සර් එකක් දුන්නොත් හරියනවද? Right? The way of calculating mean in this manner is not applicable when there are percentages. මේ විදියට ප්‍රතිශතාත්මක වෙනස් වීම තියෙනවා නම්, right? ප්‍රතිශතාත්මක වෙනස් වීම තියෙනවා නම් ඒ වගේ වෙලාවට අපිට arithmetic mean, the mean that we have calculated previously, arithmetic mean එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න බෑ. පාවිච්චි කරොතින් අපේ ආන්සර් එක හරිම ෆිගර් එකක් රිෆ්ලෙක්ට් කරන්නේ නැහැ. In such situations we are using geometric mean, right? Geometric mean. If there are percentage changes, right, if we need to get the average of the percentage changes, right, the changes in the rates, then in such situations we are using the geometric mean. ප්‍රතිශතාත්මක විදියට වෙනස් වෙවි යන තියෙන ආර්ථික වර්ධන වේගය වෙන්න පුළුවන්, විරේකීය අනුපාතය වෙන්න පුළුවන්, මේ percentage rates විදියට යන්නේම තියෙනවා. එතකොට ඒ වගේ average එක හොයන්න ඕන නම් අපි යන්නේ arithmetic mean එකට නෙවෙයි, අපිට යන්න වෙන්නේ geometric mean එකට, right? See here this example. An investment of 100,000 declined to 50,000 at the end of the year 1, right? An investment of 100,000 declined to 50,000 at the end of the year 1. On පළවෙනි අවුරුද්දේ investment value එක කීයද? ලක්ෂයයි. This is year 1. පළවෙනි අවුරුද්දේ investment value එක ලක්ෂයයි. දෙවෙනි අවුරුද්දේ මොකක් වෙලා කියලාද කියන්නේ? In year 2 what has happened? Decline to 50,000. මේ ලක්ෂේ 50,000ක් වෙනකන් අඩු වෙලා. 50,000ක් වෙනකන් අඩු වෙලා. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? There is a 50% what? 50% decrease is there. Year 1 එකේ ඉඳන් year 2 එකට යද්දි investment value එක කොච්චරකින් වෙනස් වෙලාද? 150කින් අඩු වෙලා. ලක්ෂ තිබ්බ එක 50,000 වෙලා. Then and rebounded to 100,000 at the end of year 2, right? At the end of year 2. So this is year 0, sorry. This is year 0. This is at the end of year 1, and this is at the end of year 2. මේ 50,000 දෙවනි අවුරුද්ද අවසාන වෙද්දී මොකක් වෙලාද? අපි මුලින්ම ලක්ෂයක් ඉන්වෙස්ට් කරනවා. පළවෙනි අවුරුද්ද අවසාන වෙද්දී එක 50,000ට බහිනවා. There is a 50% decrease. දෙවනි අවුරුද්ද අවසාන වෙද්දී ඒක ආයේ ලක්ෂයේ මට්ටමට එනවා. එතකොට මොකක් වෙලාද? 50,000 has become 100,000. 50,000 තිබ්බ එක ලක්ෂයක් වෙලා කීයක වැඩිවීමක්ද? 100% වැඩි වීමක්. There is a 100% increase. ලක්ෂයක් ඉන්වෙස්ට් කරා පළවෙනි අවුරුද්ද ඉවර වෙද්දී ඒක 50000ට බැස්සා. 150කින් අඩු වෙලා අපේ ඉන්වෙස්ට්මන්ට් වැලියු එක. ඊට පස්සේ දෙවෙනි අවුරුද්ද ඉවර වෙද්දී මොකද? අර 50000යි කියලා තිබ්බ එක දෙවෙනි අවුරුද්ද ඉවර වෙද්දී ලක්ෂයක් වෙලා 100ට කීයකින් වැඩි වෙලාද? 50000 තිබ්බ එක තව 50000කින් වැඩි වෙලා 100%කින් වැඩි වෙලා 100% increase is there. හරි. දැන් අපි මේකේ arithmetic mean එක calculate කරද්දී කීයද එන්නේ? The overall 2-year return is 0 since it started and ended at the same value. අපි overall බැලුවොත් මොකද්ද මේ වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? ලක්ෂයක් ඉන්වෙස්ට් කරලා දැන් අපි ගාව තියෙන්නේ කීයද? ලක්ෂයක්. වර්ධනයක් හෝ අනිත් එකේ සිංහල වචනේ මොකද්ද මට මතක් වෙන්නේ. growth එකක් හරි degrowth එකක් හරි තියෙනවද? growth එකක්වත් degrowth එකක්වත් නැහැ at the end. right? ලක්ෂයක් ඉන්වෙස්ට් කරා අවුරුදු දෙකකට පස්සේ තියෙන්නේ පොතේ ලක්ෂයම තමයි. හෙල්ලිලාවත් නැහැ. වර්ධනයක්වත් අසංවර්ධනය කියලා කියන්නේ මම දන්නේ නැහැ. right? degrowth එකක්වත් නැහැ. But what if we find the mean here? Arithmetic mean එක හෙව්වොත් මොකද අදහස එන්නේ? මොකද කරන්නේ? 50%. So see here, if we find the arithmetic mean, what we will get? 50% decrease. It means minus 50%. 100% increase. That means plus 100%. Divide by 2, what we will get? Right. Right. අවපාතයට මම දන්නේ නැහැ. ඉකෝන් තියෙනව නේද මේ semester එකේ? පොඩක් ආන්සර්ගෙන් අහන්න. Right. So here what we will get, if we find the arithmetic mean, we will get the answer as 25%, but this is misleading. මේක misleading නේද arithmetic mean එක හෙව්වොත්. අපි මේ 150යි 100යි මෙන්න මේ values දෙකේ සාමාන්‍ය මධ්‍යනේ හෙව්වොත් අපිට එන්නේ 125යි කියලා. හැබැයි මේක misleading. ඇයි? මේකේ අදහස මොකද්ද? අපේ ඉන්වෙස්ට්මන්ට් එක දෙවැනි අවුරුද්ද අවසාන වෙද්දී 125කින් වර්ධනය වෙලා. එහෙම ලක්ෂ ඉන්වෙස්ට්මන්ට් එක අවුරුදු දෙකක් ඉවර වෙද්දී කීයක් වෙන්න ඕනද? 1,25,000ක් වෙන්න ඕන. හැබැයි 1,25,000 නෙවෙයි තාමත් වැලියු එක කීයද? ලක්ෂෙම තමයි. So if we found the arithmetic mean, if we use the arithmetic mean, we will provide it with a misleading result. අපිට එන උත්තරේ misleading answer එකක් එන්නේ. Right? So here in such situations what we need to use the geometric mean. See, right? 50% decrease. 50% decrease කියලා කියන්නේ කොහොමද අපි පෙන්නන්නේ? එක කියන එක ගත්තොතින් මේක 150කින් අඩු වෙලා කිව්වට පස්සේ what is the answer? අපි එක කියන figure එක originally ගත්තොතින් එක 150කින් අඩු වුණාම කීයද answer එක? එක කියන එක 150කින් අඩු වුණාම කීයද? Yes, that is 0.5. That is 0.5. එක කියන එක 100කින් වැඩි වුණාම කීයද answer එක? කීයද answer එක? එක කියන එක 100කින් වැඩි වුණාම yes, that is 2. So here how we can find the geometric mean? How we can find the geometric mean? Right. So here in this example, 50% decrease and 100% decrease, 100% increase. If we need to find the geometric mean, what we need to do here is that we need to take. So here we have how many observations? 2 observations. One is 50% and the other one is 100%. So the number of observations we need to take as the root value. මෙතන මේ විදියට observations 3ක් තිබ්බනම් මෙතනට එන්නේ කීයද? 2 නෙවෙයි 3. observations 5ක් තිබ්බනම් ඒ කියන්නේ percentage changes 5ක් තියලා තිබ්බනම් the root value should be what? 5. Likewise here 0.5 into 2 minus 1. කැලි එකේ ගහලා answer එක බලන්න කීයද එන්නේ කියලා. කීයද එන්නේ? Second root of I don't have the calculator, sorry. Is it 2? मैं අවසුළු කරාට පස්සේ එක දෙන්නේ. Second root of 0.5 into 2, then here you will get the answer as 1, right? And from that you need to deduct 1. So it should be 0. Right? So here it means the geometric mean is 0, right? The geometric mean is 0. මෙයාගෙන් එකක් අඩු වෙන්න ඕනේ හැමතිස්සෙම, right? minus 1. So the geometric mean will be 0 and this is the more accurate result. See, ඇත්තනේ අපි ලක්ෂයක් ඉන්වෙස්ට් කරලා දැනුත් අපි ගාව තියෙන්නේ ලක්ෂයයි. 100ට කීයකවත් මොකද්ද growth එකක් හරි degrowth එකක් හරි නැහැ. The growth is the average growth is what? 0%, right? So more accurate results will be provided using what? In the geometric mean. එහෙනම් percentage changes තියෙනව නම් ඒ වගේ වෙලාවක අපි සාමාන්‍ය හොයන්න arithmetic mean එක පාවිච්චි කරොතින් අපිට එන්නේ misleading result එකක්. ඒක නිසා percentage changes තියෙනව නම් අපි පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඕන මොකක්ද? geometric mean. percentage changes තියෙනව නම් ඒ වගේ average එක හොයන්න අපි පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඕන geometric mean, not the arithmetic mean. Right? එනම් මොකක් හරි percentage values ටිකක් දීලා ඒකේ average එක හොයන්න කිව්වොතින් අපි ඒ ටික එකතු කරලා තියෙන ගාණයෙන් බෙදන්නේ නැහැ. එහෙම බෙදුවොතින් අපිට එන උත්තරේ වැරදි. අපි මොකද කරන්න ඕන? අපි හොයන්න ඕන arithmetic mean එක නෙවෙයි geometric mean එක. Right. Okay, example number 12. Example number 12. Calculate the geometric mean of the series 248. 248. ඔන්න ඔය data points තුනේ geometric mean එක අහනවා. arithmetic mean එක හොයන්න කිව්වොත් මොකද්ද? arithmetic mean එක හොයන්න කිව්වොත් lazy. 2 plus 4 plus 8 divided by 3. Here we will get the arithmetic mean. But here, what we need to find? The geometric mean. How we can find that? Geometric mean එක හොයන්නේ කොහොමද? Example number 12. Example number 2. Right. We need to find the geometric mean. ගුණිත මධ්‍යනය කියලා නේද කියන්නේ? Geometric mean. මට කියන්න මේ තියෙන percentage values ද නැද්ද කියලා? 2 4 8 නිකන් series එකක්. මේ තියෙන percentage values නෙවෙයි. right? percentage values නෙවෙයි නම් අපි කැල් කරන්නේ geometric mean එක කැල් කරන්නේ කොහොමද? How many observations are here in example number 12? Example number 12 වල observations කීයක් තියෙනවද? How many? There are 3. There are 3 observations. So we need to consider what? Third root of. What are the observations? 2 into 4 into 8. Percentage changes නොවෙන නිසා අපි අර -1 කියන එක මෙතෙන්ට දාන්න යන්නේ නැහැ. ඒව නිකන් numbers නේ. ඒ වගේ වෙලාවට අපි අර -1 කියන එක පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැහැ. -1 use කරන්නේ නැහැ. Right. So what is the geometric mean? What is the geometric mean? What is the value you will get here once you simplify this one? Third root of 8 into 4, 32. 32 into 2, 64. Third root of 64 is what? 64 තුන්වෙනි මූලය කීයද? Yes, that is 4. 4 into 4, 16. 16 into 4, 64. Yes. The answer should be 4. Right? එතකොට මේ data series එකේ geometric mean එක හොයන්න කිව්වොත් අපිට answer එක 4. arithmetic mean එක හොයන්න කිව්වොත් arithmetic mean එක හොයන්න කිව්වොත් අපි මොකද කරන්නේ? We simply add each and every observation and divide it by the number of observations. 14 divided by 3, the answer should be what? 4.67. On the geometric mean එකයි arithmetic mean එකයි වෙනස. එකම උත්තරේ නෙවෙයි එන්නේ. Right. Example number 30. Example number 13. So these kind of situations we can frequently observe. Example number 30. The price of a commodity increased by 30% from 2015 to 2016. Right? The price of a commodity increased by 30% from 2015 to 2016. 2015 2016. 2015 ඉඳන් 2016ට යද්දී මොකක්ද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? There is a 30% what? Increase. 30% increase එකක්. Increase එක පෙන්නන්න මම plus ලක්න දාන්න. 30% increase. Then by 20% 2016 to 2017. 2016 ඉඳන් 2017ට යද්දී 100ට කීයක වර්ධනයක්ද? Price එක වැඩි වෙලා තියෙනම 120%. Price of this commodity has increased by 20% from 2016 to 2017. And by 5% from 2017 to 2018. 2017 ඉඳන් 2018ට යද්දී price එක මොකක් වෙලාද? 105කින් වැඩි වෙලා. 105කින් වැඩි වෙලා. What we need to find? Find yearly average percentage increase from 2015 to 2018. Yearly average percentage increase. කොතනකවත් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? Geometric mean එක හොයන්න. අපිට කියන්නේ මොකක් හොයන්නද? Find yearly average percentage increase. Yearly average percentage increase එක අහන්න. අපි දැනගන්න ඕන percentage changes වල average එක හොයන්න නම් arithmetic mean එක පාවිච්චි කරලා අපිට ඒ දේ කරන්න බෑ. හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් value එකක්. ඒක මොකක්ද? ඒක misleading. That will be a misleading answer. To get the most accurate average value in a percentage change scenario, we need to get what? We need to find what? The geometric mean. Right? percentage වෙනස් වීම වල සාමාන්‍යයක් හොයන්න කිව්වොත් අපි හැමතිස්සෙම පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ මතක තියාගන්න මොකක්ද? arithmetic mean එක නෙවෙයි geometric mean එක. So how to find here the geometric mean? How many observations? How many observations are there? 3 observations. This is the first one, this is the second one, and this is the third one. So we need to consider what? The third root of 30% increase. 30% increase කියලා කියන්නේ අපි consider කරන්න ඕන කීයද? 30% increase කලින් ගාන මතකද? 30% increase එකක් කියලා කිව්වොත් අපි consider කරන්න ඕන කීයද? එකේ තිබ්බ එක 130කින් වැඩි වෙලා කීයද? Kiyad. We need to consider it as 1.3. හැමතිස්සෙම අපි ගන්න එකට සාපේක්ෂව. එක කියලා අගයක් තිබ්බනම් 130ක වර්ධනයක් කියලා කියන්නේ එක කියන එක කන්වර්ට් වෙනවා කීයටද? 1.3 වලට. into geometric නේ ප්‍රශ්නේ වෙයි. හැමතිස්සෙම multiplication into 120ක වර්ධනයක්. හැමතිස්සෙම ගන්න එකට සාපේක්ෂව. එක කියන එක 120කින් වර්ධනය වුණා නම් කීයද value එක? Right, we always take the base as 1. 1 if it is increased by 20% it means what? 1.2. Yes, 1.2 into this one increased by 5%. Always compared to 1 it should be what then? එක කියන එක 105කින් වර්ධනය වෙලා කීයද? Yes, 1.05 minus 1. What should be the answer? What should be the answer? මම මේ කැල් එකේ ගහන විදිය ලියන්න. මෙයාව කැල් එකේ ගහන්නේ සෙල්ලම 3. ඊට පස්සේ shift එක. ඊට පස්සේ square root button එක. එතකොට එනවා 3 මූලය කියන්නේ. Third root. Then open a bracket. Then have these figures. 1.3 multiplied by 1.2 multiplied by 1.05. Close it. Minus 1 press E. You should get what? 0.178. Others? Yes, 0.1787. 0.1787. As a percentage, ප්‍රතිශතයක් විතර කිව්වොත් කීයද? 17.87%. 17.87%. Right? 17.87%. So this is what? This is the yearly average percentage increase. එහෙනම් අපිට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් predict කරනවා නම් කියන්න පුළුවන් මොකද 2019 මේ figures තුන දිහා බලලා මොකක් කියන්න පුළුවන්ද? 17.87කින් 2018 අවුරුද්දට සාපේක්ෂව 17.87කින් prices වැඩි වෙයි කියන එක කියන්න පුළුවන්. නම් මතක තියාගන්න percentage changes තියෙද්දි අපි හැමතිස්සෙම යන්නේ average එක කැල් කරද්දි geometric mean එකට. Right? And I have shown you how it will be misleading. අපි arithmetic mean එකට ගියොත් කොහොමද ඒක misleading වෙන්නේ කියලා මේ example එකේ පෙන්නලා තියෙනවා. Right? In quartiles, we are dividing our data set into 4 equal parts, 4 segments. See, in quartiles, what we find? Q1, Q2, and Q3 values. So these are the quartile values that we find. It means those are position values. Using these Q1, Q2, Q3 values, what we do is we divide our data set into 4 equal parts. In our data set, පළවෙනි 125 තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ value එකට කලින් Q1 value එකට කලින් Q1 value එකේ ඉඳන් Q2 value එක වෙනකම් මේ range එකේ පෙන්නන්නේ ඊළඟ 125. From Q2 to Q3 it will represent the next 25% of our data, and the values beyond the Q3 values represents the highest 25% of our data set. So in quartiles, what basically happens is we are dividing the data set into 4 equal parts. In deciles, what? In deciles, we are dividing the data set into 10 equal parts. එතකොට එක part එකක කොච්චර percentage එකක් represent වෙනවද? 10%. In percentiles, we are dividing our whole data set into 100 equal parts. Right? The values will differ from P1 to P99 in percentiles. So one part represents 1%. Right. This is how to find the quartile values in an individual data set. If we have provided with an individual data set, this is how we can find the first, second, and third quartile values. Second quartile value is exactly equals to our which value? Median. Right? Second quartile value එක කියලා කියන්නේ මොන value එකම තමයිද? අපේ median value එකම තමයි. මේ quartiles වල අපි data set එක කීයකට කඩනවද? කෑලි 4කට කඩනවා. මැද තියෙන value එකනේ median කියලා කියන්නේ. මැද කියලා කියන්නේ මෙතන. මෙන්න අපේ data set එකේ මැද තියෙන value එකේ නම් මොකක්ද? median එක. median එකයි Q2 එකයි හැමතිස්සෙම මොකක් වෙන්න ඕනද? සමාන වෙන්න ඕන. සමානයි. Right? Q2 and the median value is always equal. Those are equal. The value in the middle. Q2 value, we can either go with this way or else we can say 2 into n plus 1 over 4. This will provide us the positional value. We need to take the positional value. මෙතනින් කියන්නේ තියෙන place එක විතරයි. අදාළ place එකට ඒ කියන place එකට අදාළ value එක තමයි අපි Q2 value එක කියලා කියන්නේ. Right? These quartile values. So by using this formula, we can find the place, not the final answer. මෙතනින් එන්නේ තියෙන්නේ කොතනද කියලා විතරයි. නැත්නම් final answer එක නෙවෙයි. Right. Okay, example number 14. Right. So this is the data set they have given. First, we need to rearrange this data set in ascending node, descending node. ඉස්සෙල්ලාම අපි කරන්නේ අපි data set එක සමානව කඩා ගන්න නෙමෙයි යන්නේ. ඒක නිසා අපි ගාව data set එක පිළිවෙලට තියෙන්න ඕන. පිළිවෙලට තිබ්බේ නැති වුණොත් අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා මොකද්ද කරන්නේ? median එක හොයද්දිත් අපි මොකද්ද කරේ? When finding the median of an individual data set, what we have done first? First, we have prepared the data array. So likewise, in finding the quartile values also, we need to rearrange our data set in ascending or descending order. Order එකට නෙවෙයි නම් තියෙන්නේ අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලම කරන්නේ data set එක order එකට හදාගන්න එක. Right. So here in this example number 14, the data set is in order, in ascending order. Right. Okay. So how to find Q1 value? Q1 value එක හොයන්නේ කොහොමද? Q1 equals what? N plus 1 divided by, in quartiles, we are dividing the data set into 4 equal parts, therefore divide it by 4. We need to take the positional value. Right. N means what? Number of observations. How many observations we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it is 9 plus 1 divided by 4. Positional value. So 10 divided by 4 means 2.5 positional value. 2.5 කියලා කියන්නේ උත්තරේ නෙවෙයි. උත්තරේ තියෙන තැන. Right? 2.5th observation. Where is it? This is the second observation. This is the third observation. එහෙනම් 2.5 ඉන්නේ කොතනද? මේ දෙන්නගේ මැද. කීයද එහෙනම්? 12 plus 13 divided by 2, that is what? 12.5. මේ දෙන්න එකතු කරලා දෙකෙන් බෙදුවට පස්සේ අපිට එනවා කීයද? 12.5. Therefore this is our Q1 value, 12.5. What about Q2 value? Q2 හොයන්නේ කොහොමද? 2 into n plus 1 divided by 4. Here we need to consider the positional value. 2 into n plus 1. N plus 1, now we know 9 plus 1, 10. 10 into 2, 20. 20 divided by 4. Here this will provide us the place where our answer is. So fifth positional value is what we need to take. පස්වෙනියට ඉන්නේ කවුද? Right, එයාට අදාළ value එක තමයි අපේ Q2 value එක වෙන්නේ. කීයද? මේ එක, this is the second observation, this is the third one, this is the fourth one, this is our fifth observation. මේ ඉන්නේ අපේ පස්වෙනිය. Fifth observation, what is the value? 16. Therefore our Q2 value is 16. This is exactly should be equals to what? Our median value. Q2 කියලා කියන්නේ median value එකම තමයි. Median එක හොයන්නේ කොහොමද? Individual data set එක නම් n plus 1 over 2 positional value. n කියලා කියන්නේ number of observations 9ක් තියෙනවා. 9 plus 1 10. 10 divided by 2 5. Fifth positional value, that is 60. May I saman. Q2 and median value both means the same. Q3 value කොහොමද? 3 into n plus 1 divided by 4. We need to consider the positional value. Right? Positional value. 3 into n plus 1. N means number of observations, that is 9. 9 plus 1, 10. 10 into 3, 30. 30 divided by 4. 30 divided by 4. We need to consider, we need to take the positional value. 34 බෙදුවම කීයද? 7.5. So we need to find where is our 7.5th observation. This is the 6th observation. This is the 7th observation. This is the 8th observation. So it should be in between 7 and 8. එහෙනම් මොකද කරන්න ඕන? 18 plus 21 divide by 2 කීයද? 7.5 තියෙන්නේ 7යි 8යි මැදනේ, හරි මැද. එහෙනම් මේ දෙන්න එකතු කරලා දෙකෙන් බෙදන්න කීයද? කීයද? 39 divided by 2, that is 19.5. 19.5. That is our Q3 value. Q3 value. So this is how we can find the quartile values in an individual data set. Individual data set. Take ungroup unat ඔය විදිහටම තමයි. If it is an individual or an ungrouped data set, this is how we can find the quartile values, Q1, Q2, and Q3 values. The purpose is, using these quartile values, we can divide our data set into 4 equal parts. Right? Okay. So here I have, in the presentation, I have given you the answers as well. Right? We got the same, no? Q1 12.5. Q2 should be equals to our median value, which is 16, and Q3 value should be 19.5. Right. What if we have a group data set? in example number 15, we have a group frequency distribution. So how to find quartile values there? Right. So I will take you through this one. Example number 15. Example number 50. Mid quartiles හොයන විදිහටම තමයි මොනව හොයන්නේද? deciles percentiles හොයන්නේ. Right? එකම වෙනස quartiles වල අපි data set එක හතරට බෙදාගත්තට percentiles deciles වල අපි data set එක බෙදාගන්නේ කීයට? percentiles වල නම් 100ට deciles වල නම් 10ට. Right, class intervals and frequencies. Class intervals and frequencies. The same distribution, 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79, 80 to 89, 90 to 99, 100 to 109, 110 to 190. Frequency is 6, 9, 15, 25, 6, 9, 15, 25, 13, 7, and 5. 13, 7, and 5. Right. What is the common formula to find quartile values? Quartile values හොයන්නේ කොහොමද? 1, 2, 3 කියලා තුනක් තියෙනනේ. මම instead of saying 1, Q2, Q3, I will say QI. Right? I you can replace with any quartile value that you need to find. QI equals what? L QI plus median එක හොයන විදිහටම තමයි. මොකක්ද කරන්න ඕන? I into n over කීයද? quartiles නම් n over 4. මෙන්න මෙතන විතරයි අනිත්‍යවදී වෙනස් වෙන්නේ. deciles නම් මේව 10ෙන් බෙදනවා. percentiles නම් මේක 100ෙන් බෙදනවා. That is the only difference in the formula. Right? Minus capital FQI. Now you know the difference between capital F and simple FQI. Into CQI. Right. Okay. So let's find the Q1 value first. Q1 value equals L plus I. So instead of I, now we can use what? 1. 1 into n over 4 minus capital F divided by simple F into C, capital C. Right. What do you mean by LQI here? Now you know to a certain extent. Right? What do you mean by this L? Lower boundary of the ith quartile class. It means if we need to find the Q1 value, first we need to determine the Q1 class. මතකයි නේද? Group frequency distribution එක median එක හොයනවා නම් අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා මොකද්ද කරේ? තියෙන class intervals වලින් median class එක මොකද්ද කියලා decide කරන්න ඕන. mode එක හොයනවා නම් තියෙන class intervals වලින් model class එක මොකද්ද කියලා, right, we need to decide. And likewise, if we need to find the Q1 value, first we need to determine what is our Q1 class. Q1 class එක මොකක්ද කියලා තීරණය කරන්න ඕන. So here we have 7 class intervals. Out of these 7 class intervals, what is our Q1 class? We need to determine that. How can we do it? Median එක නම් මොකද්ද කරේ? N divided by 2. So here if we need to find the Q1 class, what we need to do is we need to divide N by 4. N divided by 4 කීයද? N means sigma F. කීයක් තියෙනවද? 80. 80 divided by 4. 80 divided by 4 kiyad. That is 20th. 20th. Right? 20th. Now we need to find where is our 20th. අපේ 20 වෙනියා ඉන්නේ කොතනද කියලා බලා ගන්න ඕන. ඒකට අපිට ඕන වෙනවා කවුද? Cumulative frequency column. We need to build the cumulative frequency column. 6 plus 9, 15, 15 plus 15, 30, 30 plus 25, 55, 55 plus this 13, 68, 68 plus 7, 75, 75 plus 5, 80. This is our cumulative frequency column. Now tell me, where is our 20th? කොතනද අපේ 20 වෙනියා ඉන්නේ? මොන class interval එකේද? Yeah. Yes, Bhagya, where is our 20th? Or what should be our Q1 class? Yes, that is 70 to 79. Q1 class. This is our Q1 class, 70 to 79. So here we need to consider what? These are class limits, but here we need to take what? Class boundaries. We need to take the class boundaries. So we need to develop the class boundaries first. 49.5 to 59.5. 59.5 to 69.5. 69.5 to 79.5. 79.5 to 89.5. 89.5 to 99.5. 99.5 to 109.5. 109.5 to 119.5. So what is the L value? මෙතන එන L value එක කීයද? Lower class boundary of the Q1 class. That is 69.5. 69.5. mean Q1 class එකේ lower class boundary 69.5 plus 1 into n over 4. N is 80, 80 over 4. Minus capital F. You know what capital F stands for. What? Cumulative frequency of the class preceding the respective quartile class. So here we are finding Q1. So it should be what? Cumulative frequency of the class preceding the Q1 class. Q1 class එකට කලින් එකේ cumulative frequency එක කීයද? Yes, that is 15. මෙන්න මේ 15 ගැන තමයි මේ කියන්නේ. Q1 class එකට කලින් එකේ cumulative frequency එක 50. Divide by frequency of the Q1 class. What is the frequency of the Q1 class? Q1 class එකේ frequency එක කීයද? That is also 50. මේ එකම තැනකින් නෙවෙයි ගන්නෙ තැන් දෙකෙන් එන්නේ. Cumulative frequency this is the one we have considered here as 50. This 50. Frequency of the Q1 class this is what we have considered 50. Into C class width. What is the class width? Upper class boundary minus lower class boundary of the Q1 class, that is 10. ඕනම class interval එකක නෙවෙයි අපිට අදාළ class එකේ අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලම determine කරපු class interval එකේ class width එක 10. Right, we have discussed this. There can be situations, there can be circumstances where we have different class widths. Class widths අසමාන වෙන තැන් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක නිසා හැමතිස්සෙම අපි ගන්න අදාළ class එකේ class width එක. Q1 නම් Q1 class එකේ class width එක. Median නම් median class එකේ class width එක. Mode නම් model class එකේ class width එක likewise. So what should be the Q1 value then? Kiyada. Q1 value 20 minus 15, that is 5. Divide by 15 into 10 plus 69.5, that is 72.83. 72.83. Yes. Q2 value, how to find that? Again L plus, this time now our I value is 2, therefore 2 into n over 4 minus capital F divided by simple F into C. Right, N. So we need to get what? Lower class boundary of the Q2 class. එහෙනම් ඉස්සෙල්ලම අපි කරන් ඉන්න ඕන මොකක්ද? Q1 හොයද්දි Q1 class එක හොයාගත්තා වගේ Q2 හොයන්න නම් අපි Q2 class එක දැනගෙන ඉන්න ඕන. We need to know the Q2 class. How to get the Q2 class? That is 2n over 4. 2n over 4. 2 into n. N means number of observations. 80 over 4. Here. 80 into 2, 160. 160 over 4, 40. 40th. We need to know where is our 40th. Where is it? අපේ 40 වෙනියේ ඉන්නේ කොතනද? From 31 to 55. That is in between 80 to 89. Therefore, this is our Q2 class. 80 to 89 කියලා කියන්නේ අපේ Q2 class එක. So there we need to consider the lower class boundary. What is the lower class boundary value there in Q2 class? That is 79.5. This is the L value. Right. This is the L value, 79.5. Plus 2 into n over 4. N means number of observations, that is 80. So 80 over 4 minus capital F here. What is the capital F value? Cumulative frequency of the class preceding the Q2 class. Q2 class එකට කලින් එකේ cumulative frequency එක කීයද? Yes, that is 30. කලින් එකේ cumulative frequency එක 30. Right? 30. divided by frequency of the Q2 class, that is 25. That is 25. Into C, 89.5 minus 79.5, that is 10. Therefore, class width is 10. So what should be the Q2 value then? Here then. 40 minus 30 means 10 divided by 25 into 10 plus 79.5, that is 83.5. Q2 value is 83.5, and this should also be our which value? Median value. නිකන් ඉන්න වෙලාවට ආයේ median එක කැල්කුලේට් කරලා බලන්න මේ ආන්සර් එකම තමයි එන්නේ 83.5. Right. Then the Q3 value, Q3 equals L plus I into N over 4 minus capital F divided by simple F into C. Right. Here Q1 where the Q1 class. To find Q2 value, we have first determined the Q2 class. Likewise, to find the Q3 value, first we need to determine what is our Q3 class. How to determine that? 3 into N over 4. 3 into N over 4. Here, 3 into 80 over 4. 80 into 3, that is 240, divide by 4. Here, 60. 60th observation. Where is our 60th? From 56th observation to 68th observation, it is in between 90 to 99. So this is our Q3 class, 90 to 99. Lower class boundary of the Q3 class, what is that? Q3 class again, lower class boundary, Q 89.5 plus, what is the I value now? We are finding the Q3 value. Therefore, I value should be 3. 3 into N over 4. The value of N is 80. 80 over 4. Minus capital F. Capital F. Cumulative frequency of the class preceding the Q3 class. Q3 class එකට කලින් එකේ cumulative frequency එක කීයද? But this is the Q3 class preceding, and this is what we need to refer. Cumulative frequency of it, yes, that should be 55. 55. Divided by simple F. Simple F means the frequency of the Q3 class. Here it is 30. Into class with 99.5 minus 89.5, that is 10. Therefore, what should be the Q3 value? 93.34. 93.34. So this is how we can find the quartile values of a grouped frequency distribution. Group frequency distribution එකක් තිබ්බොතින් අපි quartile values නැත්නම් Q1, Q2, Q3 values හොයන්නේ. Is it clear? Is it clear up to now? Right. Okay. The last example number 60, right? Last example of chapter number 3. Example number 60. So we have around 15 to 20 minutes. So please try to find these answers. So here you need to find deciles and percentiles. First you try by your own. What is the only difference? If it is a decile, මේකම තමයි මෙතන 4න් බෙදෙනව වෙනකොට කීයෙන් බෙදෙනවද 10න් බෙදෙනවා. So here if you need to find the first decile, what is the first thing you need to do? First you need to find the first decile class or D1 class. නවවෙනි decile value එක හොයන්න නම් you need to find the D9 class. Here you need to find the D6 class. Fourth one, here you need to find the P1 class, first percentile class එක හොයාගන්නවා. මෙතන P35 class. Here you need to find P90 class. Likewise, first you need to determine the respective class interval and you can progress in the manner which we have found the quartiles. The only difference is if it is deciles, n over not 4, that should be 10. If it is a percentile value, n over 100. The way to determine is also the same. After D1 value, we can D1 class but n over 4 n over 10. P1 class n over 100. Using the cumulative frequencies, you can determine the respective class. Right. So you try example number 16 at home, right? So during this Thursday lecture, we will discuss the answers for this example number 16.